So Mori, you mean to tell me this whole time you was just power in disguise? You was mastering disguising your power like that? This dude Mori showed you who he truly is this episode. And the person he is, legend. 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 I thought Lubu with Mira was hype. Nah. Mori, whole nother level. Whole nother level. It's even confirmed that it's another level by Mujin in this goddamn episode. What's going on, my Shinobis and Kages of the Red Cloud Village? It's your boy Black Yoshi, and I'm here today to bring you another final anime episode installment / breakdown of some of that God of Highschool Season 1 Episode 13, titled God/God. Very fitting title. Also, before we get started, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you know when me and the Red Cloud Shinobi are dropping some of that fire. Also, follow us on our social medias, which is Red Cloud Village on YouTube and Red Cloud Village on Instagram. And you can follow me, your boy, Son of Mike, on Facebook and Black Yoshi 92 on Instagram. Let's get right into it, because this final episode, hype. It picks up where the last episode, where you pretty much see Mandoc and Jason after they pretty much faced off, and Jason came down, you know what I'm saying, looking like an old school magician, summoning meteors and all types of crazy shit, transporting people. He was just doing his thing. And it gets confirmed by Mujin that Jason did manage to defeat, or I guess stop, the summoning of Mandoc's god and everything like that. So your boy Jason, he was down for the count though, like he was out of commission, but his efforts weren't in vain. He was able to stop Mandoc. But Mujin notices that the only people that are still there is the people he sent to the Holy Realm, which was that dimension that he sent Mori and everyone in the last episode when shit was going down, fighting against Mandoc and everything like that. He says they're the only ones that are still left on the battlefield, which essentially is Team Mori and this new god mode Jagal, right? And that's pretty much where the episode begins to pick up after Mujin explains that and everything. We see Mori and his team looking at Jagal, and Jagal's just in his new mode, talk about like, I'm gonna bring you, I'm nothingness, and the only thing that awaits you is painful death when facing me. He's on his god mode right now, so he feeling himself. Excuse me. And what a dab? But anyway, Mori and Team Mori is looking at Jagal, and he's noticing Mori himself. He's having like this flashback, and we really don't see the true scope of it. We just see him having like this flashback, and Mira comes, snaps him out of it, and they're pretty much focusing their attention back on Jagal, and they're like, okay, how are we going to deal with this dude? Because clearly this dude's on another level and everything like that. And pretty much we see Mira and Mori and Dewi, and they're fighting against Jagal. They're actually now having the gall to fight against this dude, and they're just going at it, and they're exchanging blows and everything like that. But he essentially just smacks Mira out the way, pushes Dewi back. He is like, this dude even used one finger to block Mira's sword. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's just on a whole nother level right now. You can't flex on this dude like that. And then Mori tries to come in, but it's to no avail and everything like that. And Jagal is just like, yo, what did I tell y'all? The only thing I wait y'all is painful death. So basically, he knew that they weren't on his level, okay? And then Mori gets angry, you know what I'm saying? Because essentially, when Mori goes in to attack Jagal after Dewi and Mira, he uses like this telekinetic hold on Mori, and Mori can't move. Like, he's pretty much bound to like just this energy. He can't move. And Mori, he's getting mad because he's looking at Jagal saying, why are you doing this? Pretty much what he told him when they were in the Holy Realm, when they were fighting for the key. And he was like, yo, why are you doing this? Why are you hurting? And Mori just gets mad. And it seems like he just uses brute strength, and he breaks out of like this telekinetic bind that Jagal had on him. He breaks out of it. And then he uses the acupuncture that Bong Chen showed him that earlier in the season, that essentially can help you in battle. And once he said that you get past your certain limits, though, it's really to no avail. So Mori did it anyway because he felt like he was past his limits, but he felt like that's something that can quickly increase his strength and speed. So he does it, and he actually goes in on at Jagal, and they're exchanging blows and everything like that. And Mori and Mira and Dewi, they jump back in the mix, trying to, you know, put in some more hits on Jagal. And, you know, my boy Mori brings out the Twin Dragon. It ain't doing nothing, bro. Jagal is just too flexy right now. It's just not happening, bro. This dude is too powerful right now. He's like, y'all, like he told y'all trash compared to him. Y'all are straight trash. And then once they go in with their attacks, he summons the impoverished, you know, those ghoulish demons that we found out that I guess is a part of his Charyuk. He summons the impoverished again, and like I said, they're trying to attack him, and they manage to evade him and everything like that. But then when it seems that Mori is about to get pretty much taken out by one of the impoverished, Mira comes in, holds it down, saves Mori, and in the process, like, they necessarily couldn't escape fully, but she was able to save Mori in that time. And Jagal is readying up an attack, like this little red light spear or something, and he throws it, and guess who's there to block it? Taking it in the back like Neji, pause, but you get it, just like some Neji shit. Dewi. I'm like, Dewi, no! Dewi! I'm like, yo, I know Dewi is not about to die right here. It can't be. It can't be. And then he just tells Mira and Mori, he just tells them to run, because he's pretty much telling them, like, it's hopeless trying to fight against this dude, Jagal. And he says, run. And in this moment, this is when a true beast is born. Because Mori, once he sees that, it triggers him to go into a flashback. And in this flashback, we see someone talking to, like, this version of Mori. He got, like, this, like, crown, this, like, little crown light thing. I don't know, I keep saying crown light. Crown of light on his forehead. He's got, like, a whole new getup, got, like, this leopard printed. I don't even know what you want to call it, some Tarzan looking shit. I don't even know. He just looks dope. But the key thing about this flashback is there's all these people around him look like they're like his subjects, subordinates, people, whatever you want to call it. And somebody comes up to this version of Mori and calls him Your Majesty. They say, Your Majesty, Your Majesty, talking about like the preparations for battle or complete or something like that, seeming like this version of Mori and these people were going to war. And this version of Mori stands up and he looks at the people and he's like, yo, none of y'all will need to go. I'll handle it myself. And then we just see like this version of Mori standing on like this cliff, mountain range, whatever you want to call it, seemingly surrounded by like these huge giants or something like that. And I guess it was to try to show symbolism, because I guess those giants were to represent the impoverished to an extent, and to, you know, to compare to like current time what's going on with Mori and them fighting against Jagal. And the version of Mori, he has like this staff in his hand that we noticed Mori had back in, I believe it was episode, I think it was 9 or 10, when he fought against Il Pio. And basically we find out that this staff even has a name, because this version of Mori says grow, I think it was Noibo. It was Nyoibo, and I think he said Noibo. And then this giant like staff pillar thing comes down in the current time where like Mori and Dewi and everyone is. It comes down there from the sky. Like once this version of Mori that Mori's seen in the flashback or like memories says grow Noiboy, it comes down in front of the actual current time Mori and everybody on the battlefield, and it's huge, and everybody's like, what the hell, where the hell did this come from? And Mori, he walks up to it, and like everybody is kind of noticing like, yo, this is different. Like they're sensing something different, because even Mujin and them, even though they're not necessarily in the same area, they can still see what's going on across the way when the battle's taking place. And Mujin is like, yo, what the hell? This shit, and they're just amazed. They're straight up amazed by Mori's power. Like motherfuckers don't even know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know. Crazy. And then Mori walks up to the I guess staff or whatever. It's giant. It's like a pillar. He walks up to it, and it seems like he's recognizing what this power is, because he even says like this I think he says like, this is mine, or he just at least has some sense of recollection of that. He has some ties to it. And then he puts his hand on it, and as he puts his hand on it, he takes off his little sunglasses on his forehead that we've been known for him wearing since episode 1, and that shit turns into that little crown of light that we saw in the version of MORI when he had this flashback. And I'm like, yo. And then he says, shrink, Noi boy. And I'm like, what? And then basically the staff shrinks, the giant pillar shrinks back into a normal size, you know, that fits like his body mass and shit. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? My boy MORI is on another level right now. I'm like, what? Bro, it was crazy. And essentially, once he shrinks it, he walks up to Jagal, like ready to box, still ready to throw heads. You know what I'm saying? And, Jagal summons the impoverished once again, and then MORI just goes in, because he's even able to control the height and the height, the weight, the mass, the size of the staff. So he's pretty much just, you know what I'm saying, hitting him with all types of bow staff moves. But as he's hitting the impoverished with the staff, like I said, he's changing the size and the length. Like, it was crazy, yo. It was crazy. This man, MORI, became a one-man army in that moment. He was just going in. He was going in. And then those two, Jagal, once he takes out the impoverished, those two, again, themselves, they're going at it, Jagal and MORI. Now, it's just them two, you know what I'm saying? I guess you could say God versus God, because goddamn it, MORI damn near looked like that in that moment, because he was just on a whole nother level. I mean, eyes was different, glowing crown, staff, he even had like a little bracelet thing on, like his whole, like, I don't know, his drip just upgraded in that moment. And they're going at it and everything like that. And Jagal seemingly gets the upper hand on MORI. He like grabs his face, starts like digging into the ground, telling him like, yeah, like I told you, the only thing that awaits you is painful death. But MORI's like, nah, bro, I told you I'm gonna get my payback. So he uses Noibo the staff, the staff, and he pretty much just grows it right into Jagal's like chest, like, and it pushes him back. He was like, grow Noibo, and it just pushes Jagal back, sends this dude flying back. And as it's sending him flying back, MORI is using the continuing growing of the staff and its momentum to pretty much just keep hitting Jagal with a punch. And he's just like, man, he's holding it down. He's like, man, this is for Davy and Mira, you know what I'm saying? This is for Sunga and her sister, you know what I'm saying? This is for El Pio. He just, you know what I'm saying? This is for everybody whose life you made fucking hell. And he's just going in, and he just shits, and MORI just shits on him. I mean, sends this dude flying down to the ground. You know what I'm saying? And then, but it ain't over though. Cause then, like, once he sends him flying to the ground, MORI pretty much like summons like this cloud, like this giant, like just like thunder cloud or something like that. Like, it was crazy. And Jagal, he's so mad because he seemed like he's gonna lose, and he just screams out like, I'll never be a loser. And this is what I was saying about Jagal's character before that, like, because his mother was called a loser, him wanting to be strong was him wanting to run away from being quote unquote like a loser like her, since the dude that adopted him instilled in his mind to be like the best. So he was like just pissed. He was like, I'm not a loser. And you are, because you got hit with continuous lightning strikes. My boy MORI would just bring it down fucking lightning bolts on this dude like he was Zeus. It was like 1 lightning bolt, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm like, yo, just raining a fucking hell of desperation on this dude. I said hell of despair. I can't even talk. I'm starting to get just hyped just thinking about it. But you get my point. Shit was just going down. And once that happens, Mugen officially just like says, like, he confirms it. He says, he is not like us, talking about MORI. He said, he's not like us at all. What he is that he is a god himself. Unlike us, his power is not borrowed. His power is his, because you can't borrow power from something that you are. If you are this deity, you don't need to borrow a power from it, because you are it. So essentially it gets revealed that MORI is the Monkey King, Sun Wukong. I'm like, yo, Yo, but my theory about MORI though was correct, because I was talking to a fellow shinobi of mine, my boy Shawty Dread and my boy Hank is dope, and they're also in the God of High School, and I floated a theory to them about like, well, because I was saying how about MORI, him being different than everybody else. I'm like, because I even said, is MORI gonna be like a god? Because we never really know what his Choryuk was, because even though he was using dragon shit, it still wasn't really giving that away of what it was. So I was like, is he going to be like a deity himself? Because so he therefore doesn't need to borrow power because he is power. You see what I'm saying? And then my boy Hank is dope. He didn't really want to tell me anything. But my boy Shawty Dread, who we're both anime onlys right now when it comes to God of High School, we were like talking to each other, and we both was like, I think that might be it though, but we just didn't know who he was, and this episode confirmed it. Boy, ow! This boy, motherfucking MORI, is Monkey King. I'm like, what? No wonder, like I said, the staff and the, you know what I'm saying, the whole shrinking of the staff, because I was told that the Monkey King and like his lore and stuff like that, and his mythology and all that, he has like abilities to shrink and grow things and all of that. So I'm like, oh, that explains why he was telling the whole staff to grow and to shrink and everything like that. I'm like, it's all making sense. It's all making sense. But like I said, this seems like the demise of just like Jagal. Like, he's out for the count, he's on the ground, right? So once it seems like, you know, Jagal has been defeated, Dewi and Mira walk up to MORI. And they ask MORI, you know, they're like, yo, is he still in there? Like, because they see like MORI was just on another level that they never seen before. So they want to walk up to him to make sure the real MORI's still in there. So they like tap on him like, yo, MORI. And next thing you know, this dude turns around with the malnourished face, talk about I'm hungry, and I'm like, okay, he's still cool. So that was pretty cool when it when that pretty much happened and everything like that. And but as they're like talking to MORI, like, you know, because like after he defeated Jagal and everything seemed to be calmed down, we see Nox pull up, but they pull up on Mondok, and they were like, yo, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So they grabbed that dude. They pieced it out instantly. They just grabbed him and they dipped. So we don't know what's going on with Mondok once he, you know what I'm saying, he leaves. Like, he pretty much gets the hell out of there. And once that happens, we see that we see MORI and Dewi and Mira, and they're all talking again to each other. And MORI is telling them to, like, I don't really know what the hell happened. He's like, I kind of can guess, but I still don't fully know. And he even tries to take the little crown off, but the crown actually comes back. So I'm like, whoa, is this thing permanent or something? Because since he's a Monkey King, and that was a part of the Monkey King's, like, you know, his drip, is that always going to be on MORI's forehead now? So I was like, wow, that's interesting. Like, it just once it went away, it came right back. I was like, okay, that's interesting. But here's the catch. Jagal ain't down for the count. Jagal gets the hell back up, and he's like, yo, I want that power. Talking about MORI, he's like, I want that power. That belongs to me. Because he saw he just got wrecked with it, so now he wants it for himself. And I'm like, you know what, Jagal, you a hating ass dude, bro. Just accept it, bro. You a loser. You exactly what you thought you weren't. You're a loser because you got waxed. But anyway, he gets up wanting the power and everything like that. And MORI tries to use his power again against Jagal, but for some reason, the whole thundercloud thing, it's not working. Like, he puts his hand up to the sky, tries to do the attack, and it for some reason isn't working. But luckily, Il Pio shows up. He pulls up on my boy MORI like, yo. And then MORI's like, ain't you supposed to be resting? Like, you know, you should get out of here and everything like that. And he puts his arm around MORI like, look, man, we're idiots, man. We do what we want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to help you and just accept it. And then while he says that, you see Dewi and Mira, because like when Jagal actually got back up, he turned into like this weird, like multi-armed, big ass mouth. I don't know, he just turned into a damn creature. It's like fucking what was the fuck is his name? Overhaul from My Hero when he fought against Deku. He just turned into something, okay? He just turned into something, and you know, like I said, Dewi and Mira, they come in, they put their arms also around Il Pio and MORI, and it was like you know what I'm saying, like a 4-man team walking up in a battle with their arms around each other, like, let's go do this, let's put in work, and that's what they did. We see Dewi going in, we see Mira going in with Lubu, we see Il Pio Fox form hitting them with all types of fire attacks and kicks, we see MORI still with the god shit going in. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sight. It was a beautiful sight. They was going in. They looked like a true team in that moment. I mean, the synergy was too real. They was comboing off each other, and it was nice. It was nice. And then they go in for their final attack, and MORI uses this new attack called, like, it's an original too. He used a new GIN original attack called, I think it was called the Imperial Divine Dragon Fang, and that attack pretty much just collides with Jagal. And when that happens, we see that Jagal, this form he's in, it starts turning to like stone, and we see Jason on the ground, and he smiles. And we see, like, because one of, like, the bodies or whatever that was a part of this thing that Jagal turned into was Jugok. And I don't think it was his real body. I think it was more like his essence. But essentially, I don't know if maybe his essence had enough, like, cognitive ability to essentially turn Jagal, like, into stone. Because Jason smiled for a reason. Because when he smiled, we saw, like, the zombie version or whatever of Jugok in this form with Jagal. And it seems like, I guess, though he was a part of Jagal, he still had enough mental fortitude to help them in that moment, which is why Jason smiled. That's my only speculation. So when that happens, it's like just, it's official. Like, the attacks clash, he turns to stone, blows up with MORI's dragon attack, with an extra little boost on it. Jagal, done. This time, he is done. There's no getting the hell up. He's done. He is done. And, the crazy thing about it is that once he gets defeated, Jagal, it's like his body, like his own power, like the impoverished, whatever you want to call it, it's like it was eating him. It was like his own power was consuming him. So I don't know if that was like maybe like a metaphor or something like that, or because I don't think Jagal is actually dead though. The way how it seemed like he no longer has the key though, but I don't think he himself is dead. It didn't really seem like it. And when he tried to, I guess, save, because Elpio reached his hand out to grab his hand, I guess to somewhat save him, but then motherfucker Jagal was like, man, bitch, get the fuck out of here, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be affiliated with y'all trash, and then he just fades into, like, the air, and I'm like, okay, so I guess that's the end of Jagal, like I said, but I don't believe he's dead, though. I'm not believing that for a second, okay? And once all that happens, right, we see the one person you least expect in this moment. Thotty Kill Bill. We haven't seen her since like episode like 8. Like, we haven't seen her for a minute. And she's just out and about walking in like the seemingly underground cave. And she's like, where am I? Like, where the hell am I going? And then she steps on this card. And this card says 6 summon. And I'm like, what? And then she appears in like this giant door gate or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell's going on with her? Because it was so random and out of place. I'm like we see her out of all people, and what the hell is this supposed to mean? And then once we see her, we go back to like, Team MORI and everything like that. And everybody's just chilling and relaxing. You know what I'm saying? Even Sun Ya and Sun Young comes out. I mean, Sun Ga and Sun Yun. Hyun Bak comes out. I say Elpio was out there. And they're just like chilling. Like, they're all just like relieved. The battle's over. Like, they're just chilling. Like, they're pretty much just resting on their injuries and everything like that. And next thing you know, all we do is we hear like some scuffling, like some altercation, somebody arguing in the background, and we see that it's Thotty Kill Bill, and she's actually being carried by one of the 6 members, which is the female. I believe her name is Ungyo, something like that, Ungyo, and she is one of the 6 members, and she's the one that was behind that gate that Thotty Kill Bill, excuse me, I keep calling her that. I don't know her name at all. I don't remember her name whatsoever. A Google search will be able to help a brother, but I just call her Thotty Kill Bill. So she's holding her, and we find out that actually Thotty Kill Bill woke this chick up 2 weeks before she was supposed to wake up, because I'm guessing maybe that's just how her abilities are, or maybe she's just known to have like this quirk where she just like sleeps a lot. I don't know, but essentially she says that she woke her up 2 weeks, so she's in a fucking bitchy ass mood, because she's even like wailing on the Thotty Kill Bill chick, like, just whooping her ass and everything like that. And that was like some comedy right there. But basically, like I said, we find out she's one of the 6 members, and she ends up going up to Daewoo, Mira, and MORI and telling them like, yo, y'all made it to the end. You 3 are the winners of the God of High School. And I'm like, yo, the whole squad, though. The whole squad got in there. And then she's like, you guys have a wish. And this was kind of dope, because MORI, the first thing he says once he hears that word wish, he's like, yo, can I please find my grandfather? Can you tell me where my grandfather is or whatever, right? And then everybody else is kind of looking, and he kind of looks at everybody, and he thinks like, damn, like I might be taking a wish from other people. Like he looks, and Davey and Mira look at Mori and pretty much say, look, man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. You know, you handle the wish. Same with Mira. Mira's like, you know, like I pretty much wanted to find the true successor of the sword style that I had, the Moonlight. Come to find out it's her. So she's like, I really don't need a wish anymore. Like, because that was pretty much her entire wish. Like, his wish was try to save his friend. And he died, Davey. You know what I'm saying? His friend died. Her wish was to find the true, like, I guess, successor of the Moonlight sword style, and it was her. So it's like, they kind of pretty much already found what they needed to do. So Mori decided, like, okay, well, I'm gonna just use the wish myself. But here's the trick, though. Instead of Mori using the wish to essentially find his grandfather, he uses the wish to heal Sanga's leg, Hyunbok's arm, Sanga's legs, or I guess her inability to no longer be able to like fight anymore. He heals them. So he essentially sacrifices his own personal gain for somebody else's, and that shit was so fucking dope. That was commendable right there. That was commendable as hell, because that was his chance, and he passed up his chance to help other people. That's a real nigga right there. Mori, you a real one. Because I was like, yo, that was dope. That was real dope. And the one chick, Eungyo, she's telling her like, yo, like she really was able to heal us. Like, they were amazed. And she was saying that, that she had to turn back into like this little chibi like girl version of herself, and they're like, wait, she's like a little kid now. And she was like, yeah, because this dumbass over here fucking thought he killed Bill, woke me up 2 weeks early. So I'm guessing her power has like some restoration to it, where she actually has to sleep for a while for her to become full power, because she said, I woke up 2 weeks early because this dumbass, you know what I'm saying? And the one chick thought he killed Bill. She thought this was her chance to go in on Eungyo, and she was like, oh, you're a little kid now, looks like I could probably beat your ass. She was like, bitch, bad, you thought? And she just started wailing on thought he killed Bill even as a kid. She's like, nah, you thought. You know what I'm saying? That was so funny, yo. I was like, yo, I hope we get more of her, because I can tell she's one of those strong-willed female characters that just don't take nobody's shit. Like, yo, that was funny. And that pretty much ends that essentially. And she tells Mori, though. Mori walks up to her for one more thing, and she tells him like, look, your grandfather is alive. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like, I sense he's weak, but I also sense like, you know, some power, like far as like he may not be, far as like probably he's just not strong as he used to be, but he definitely is alive. And that pretty much just gives Mori just nothing but just joy, and he just falls over, knocked out, sleep, in like exhaustion and like happiness, because now he's like, now he got to, you know, do the wish to help other people. And then he finds out that his grandfather, though may not be as strong, but it still is alive, you know, like all that was reassuring to him. So he's like, you know what, let me just pass out. And then we find out that it's a 3-month later time skip. I'm like, what? 3 months? And it's funny because we see Bong Chim, and he's talking about how I think he was talking about Jason in this moment, about how he had a glorious death and he wished he could have like a death like him and all of this stuff. And I'm like, what is this dude talking about? And as he's talking, we see somebody pull up on Bong Chim calling him bro. And I'm like, bro? And then we find out that it's Seo. And I'm like, are they really related? Or is this like with some LPO Mori where like they just call each other brothers because they just have respect for each other? Or are they really brothers? Because I believe Bong Chim's last name is, I think his name is Bong Chim Na. Or Na Bong Chim. And Seo's last name is Ho Young. So I don't know if they're really brothers or not. But he calls them brother, and they start scrapping because Seo was busting his balls about not having able to ask Eungyo out like a whole bunch of years ago when she turned him down. So they started fighting because he's like, you fucking hating ass nigga. Like, that was funny right there. And then after that, we see Mujin and the commissioners. And Mujin pretty much says that like this coming election will pretty much be like the changing of the scope of like everything. So like I said, this is the little tidbits that's going to lead us into season 2, because now we got Mujin with the commissioners talking about like some election. He was like, the presidential election coming up will change like the scope of like the world or whatever. And then once he says that, we see Mandog, but Mandog is like in the public eye. He's like at some event or something. He's shaking some dude's hand, and in the crowd, as he's shaking his hand, we see Commissioner Orr, and I'm like, what? Why are you here? So I don't know if that means he's working with Mandog, or maybe he's just spying on him for intel. Like, I don't know, but I was curious when I saw that, because out of all people, I'm like, Orr? Like, it just threw me off. It just threw me off. It just threw me off like crazy. Camera just, but it just threw me off like crazy. And then once we go back, leave from the whole Mandok in the public and Commissioner Orr being there in the crowd, we go back to MORI. And MORI wakes up, like, we're at his spot, and MORI wakes up and he's like, yo, like, it smells good. It smells like somebody throwing down in the kitchen. And he goes in and he sees Daewoo and Mira. And then they both say to each other, like, yo, Ungyo was right. This dude was asleep for 3 months. And I'm like, what? MORI! This man done slept through like half of COVID. I'm like, damn. How you just gonna be sleep like that? I mean, I guess when you tired, you tired. Because I mean, you ain't hear your alarm on your phone go off not once. But anyway, man, he wakes up and they're like, yo, he really was asleep for 3 months. And then we see, we find out that Ilpio is actually leaving South Korea, because we found out that the key fragments, since he's the quote-unquote guardian of the key fragments have been spread out throughout the world, because we found out that the key actually is somewhat known as like a taboo breaker, because the key gives humanity the ability to access the holy the holy realm, where all these gods and deities and I guess this Charyuk power comes from, and that gives humans the ability to slay and kill these gods from the holy realm. So the key is more, because gods made it so humans can never challenge them, but with this key able to tap into the holy realm, that therefore gives humans the ability to take on gods and higher beings and stuff like that. So Ilpio's job is to go around the world and find the rest of the fragments, because I'm assuming once it separated itself from Jagal, it spread out kind of like the Dragon Balls, it spread out throughout the world. So Ilpio has left South Korea, and that's his mission right now, to go find the key fragments. But we also found out that that since MORI is from another homeland, since we've pretty much found out that he is the Monkey King. MORI is the Monkey King. There's no borrowing power. He is the Monkey King. And the only problem is he doesn't have all his memories. But Ungyo had told Daewoo, and Daewoo was telling MORI, like, she told us that, hey, if you go to your homeland of the Monkey King, you may be able to find out your memories and the truth about, who you really are, and, maybe the truth about God of Highschool, more to an extent in general. So I'm like, yo, that's dope. Let's go. Let's travel. Let's go. And Daewoo and them was like, yo, this is a perfect opportunity for us to train and for us, to travel outside the world and everything like that. And Mira and all of them are like, let's do it. Then MORI jumps in the fray like, hell yeah, let's go, baby. Let's do it. And then MORI just pretty much says that he's going to find his grandfather, because the adventure don't stop here, baby. The end of God of Highschool Season 1. Like I said, man, this was an amazing 13-week ride. I enjoyed damn near every episode. I've come to love so many characters. Team MORI, I fucks with all of them. You know what I'm saying? Jagal, I know you was on some big shit sometimes, but you was dope, bro. Shark Week, you was dope, okay? Ilpio came in and did his work. You know what I'm saying? My boy, Grim Reaper Gambit, Dragon Lord, holding it down, episode 7. You know what I'm talking about? And man, this shit just was amazing. It was a series that came out of nowhere. It's actually a webtoon. I'm actually going to think about reading it in the future. Maybe might bring some videos out in the future to see the difference and comparisons between the anime and the webtoon. Either way, man, this shit was just fun. I enjoyed myself. That's one thing about me and anime. I like to be entertained. I also like to think deep and theorize and think where the story's going to go. But I just like to be entertained. You know what I'm saying? I just like to be entertained so I could bring y'all the greatness, the hypeness, the hotness. You feel me? But anyway, man, this is Black Yoshi. I'm signing the hell off, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification button, man. And I'll see you guys in the next video, man, wherever that may be. Also, make sure you also follow me before I get out of here on my social medias. Son of Mike on Facebook, Black Yoshi 92 on Instagram. And yeah, man, peace.